सा डिस्कस कर चुके हैं. So I am just going to discuss all the numerical parts over here, and we will be going from basic levels to the highest level, and we will be solving each and every question for JEE Mains Advanced. Okay. So just I am solving first question. So the question is telling the number of moles of CaCl2 needed to react with AgNO3 to produce 4.31 gram of AgCl. My dear students, first of all, try to understand the basic things that you have to apply while solving the numericals problem, because so many confusion used to come. In which way you have to understand the question, in which way you have to study the question first, because the study of question is very, understanding of question is very difficult thing right now in this numerical part. Okay, सबसे first you have to understand which element is given, because first of all most of the students used to do the calculation mistake. They will be very fast and they don't understand which element is written over here. So first try to understand this thing, it's CaCl2, because if you will be calculating the molecular weight, then definitely you will be able to do some mistake here. So focus on this particular thing. CaCl2 is here AgNO3 is here, and what is the weight of the substance is given, that you have to understand there. Okay, now just understand the number of moles of CaCl2 means the question is asking you have to calculate the number of moles of CaCl2. So just write in this way, CaCl2 that is equals to what. Okay, this is the basic thing in which way you have to approach the question first. Okay, now needed to react with AgNO3 means here you have to write the equation, otherwise this is chemistry, and in chemistry if the question is asking in the mole concept in which way CaCl2 is needed to react with AgNO3, then definitely you have to write the equation and chemical reaction. So if you will be writing CaCl2 plus AgNO3, then this reaction is getting converted into CaNO3 का whole twice plus AgCl. Okay, CaNO3 का whole twice plus AgCl. My dear student, understand these things. You have written the equation in this. Now what you have to do next part is you have to balance the chemical reaction. Just understand how will you balancing the chemical reaction here. NO3 is 2 moles, so just multiply with it 2. Now chlorine is 2, so just multiply with it 2. Now if you will see, then the reaction is already balanced. Now understand in which way we will be approaching here. The stoichiometry coefficient of CaCl2 is 1, the stoichiometry coefficient of AgNO3 is 2, the stoichiometry coefficient of CaNO3 is 2, and the stoichiometry coefficient of AgCl is 2. Okay, so I think it will be very clear to all of you. Now just understand what you have to do. The question is asking number of moles of CaCl2 means how many moles of CaCl2 will be required to produce 4.3 gram, means 4.31 gram of AgCl. This is asking. So you have to calculate the number of moles of AgCl. So how will you calculate number of moles of AgCl? So just divide weight upon molecular weight. So weight is given 4.31 and you will calculate molecular weight of AgCl. Okay, that you have to calculate. Okay, now if you will get some data from here, okay, AgCl, the molecule, the atomic weight of Ag will be given, the atomic weight of Cl will be given in the question. You don't have to remember all these things. Now understand one thing, what you have to do. Now if you will see 1 mole of CaCl2 is getting 2 moles of AgCl is produced by 1 mole of CaCl2. Okay, so if you will be writing here, you have calculated number of moles, so you can apply the unitary method. Now here you can write, since 2 moles of AgCl is produced by 1 mole of CaCl2, so 1 mole of AgCl will be produced by 1 by 2 moles of CaCl2. So this number 4.31 upon molecular weight of AgCl will be produced by 1 by 2 into 4.31 upon here molecular weight of AgCl. You can calculate. Now this will be your answer. So This is your answer part. Okay. So in this way you have to approach the question. Definitely you will be able to calculate the moles of AgCl. Okay. So we will be covering the next question onwards. Okay. So I am just starting the next question. So next question is, let's understand CaCO3 required with react with HCl to give CaCl to CO2 according to the reaction CaCO3. This reaction is given. Okay, you don't need to remember this reaction specifically. This will be given in the question. Now the question is asking the mass of CaCO3 is required to react completely with 25 ml of 0.75 molar HCl solution. This is most important thing in this question that you have to understand. So I am writing 25 ml of 0.75 molar. You have given, the question is given 25 molar milliliter of 0.75 molar HCl solution. Okay, and already you all have studied how we calculate the number of moles or number of equivalent, number of gram equivalent if molarity and volume is given or if normality and volume is given. So I am calculating the number of equivalent of HCl or number of moles of HCl. Just go through the moles basis. So number of moles of HCl is equals to molarity into volume, to 0.75 multiplied with volume is in milliliter, so just calculate it in the liter. So just you have to divide in this way. So you will get this one. Now the question, you have calculated the number of moles of HCl. Now question is asking the mass of CaCO3. So before going to calculate the mass, then definitely from the chemical reaction you have to calculate the number of moles required for the reaction. So here 1 mole of CaCO3 is going to react with 2 mole of HCl to produce 1 mole of CaCl to 1 mole of CO2 and 1 mole of H2O. So you have calculated number of moles is here, that much amount. So since 2 moles of HCl reacts with 1 mole of CaCO3, so that much amount of HCl, 0.75 into 25 by 1000, that will react with 1 by 2 multiplied with 0.75 multiplied with 25 by 1000. If you will calculate, then that will be 40, and from here you will get data of 0.75 upon 80. That much amount, that much number of moles of CaCO3 you are getting. Now if you will calculate number of moles of CaCO3 is equals to weight upon molecular weight of CaCO3. So you have to calculate weight of CaCO3. So you can calculate number of moles is 0.75, that is divided by 80 and multiplied with molecular weight of 100. So you will get 0.75 multiplied with 5 by 4. That much weight, that will be in the gram. That much weight you will be getting, that much weight will be required to produce 1 mole of CaCl2 from 25 ml of 0.75 m solution, molar solution. So this was the part, this was one of the basic question, that's easy. So you can calculate, just write down it. So my dear student, this is third question. That question is asking what, calculate the weight of Fe which will be required to convert the iron oxide by the reaction of 18 gram of steam. So just try to understand in which way we will be approaching the question. So weight of Fe, asking about this. So first of all you have to understand what, in which way we will be proceeding the question. So first of all in this question you have to write the equation. Ferrous iron is getting reacted with H2O and is getting converted into Fe2O3. Okay, our main is like that. Okay, now and it will release the hydrogen gas. It will release hydrogen gas. So before going to solution, first of all you have to balance the chemical reaction, because if you are going to solve any chemical reaction by the mole basis, then definitely you have to balance the chemical reaction. And if you are going to solve the numericals according to the number of equivalent concept, then definitely you don't need to balance the chemical reaction. So First of all, right now I am solving the question on the mole concept basis, and after that we will be solving the lots of numerous number of numericals on the basis of number of equivalent concepts. Then will you be able to understand, then will you be able to identify which types of concept where we have to use. Okay, so just try to focus in this question. Here Fe is 2, so just try to multiply it with 2. Now here hydrogen is 2, it's okay. Oxygen, here oxygen is 3, so multiplied with 3. So hydrogen is here 6, so here multiplied with 3. Now understand these things. Now here the question is asking calculate the weight of Fe which will be required to convert the oxide by 18 gram of steam. Okay, now understand weight of Fe. The question is asking about calculate the weight of iron. How much iron will be required? So if the chemical reaction is in this way, then you have to calculate first number of moles, and from this we see if the stoichiometry of H2O, here H2O will be in the vapor form. If question is asking about the weight H2O steam is a vapor form of water. Okay, if it is more than 100 degree centigrade temperature at 1 atm pressure. Okay, so just you have to remember these things. Okay, now just asking here you can see 3 moles of H2O vapor is going to react with 2 moles of iron to convert into Fe2O3 iron oxide. So 1 mole of H2O vapor will be reacting with 2 by 3 moles. So here you can calculate 18 gram of steam. Now just calculate 18 gram of, just I am calculating here. If you will calculate 18 gram of H2O, that means that is 1 mole. So 1 mole will be here. So just try to 2 by 3 moles of Fe required. Okay. Now you can calculate it with the help of weight of iron requirement. So you can calculate it by 56. Then you will be getting the required answer. Okay. So you have calculated the number of moles of iron and just multiplied with the atomic weight of the iron. Then you will be able to understand the right answer. Are you able to get the right answer? Okay. So this will be your answer. And I think this is one of the easiest questions. Just you have to focus. Just you have to balance the chemical reaction and according to stoichiometry you have to solve the question right now. Okay. So just write down this partly. So my dear student, this is the next question. That the question is asking about the 10 volume. If 10 volume of dihydrogen, 10 volume of dihydrogen gas is reacting with 5 moles or 5 volume of dioxygen gas, how many volume of water vapor will be required? So just dihydrogen gas is H2 plus it is getting reacted with O2 and it will be producing H2O vapor. Okay, and the reaction will be happening in the gaseous phase. Here the question is asking 10 volume, here it is asking 5 volume. So before going to solve any question on the mole concept basis, first of all you have to balance the chemical reaction, and if you will be balancing the chemical reaction, then you have to multiply it with the half moles, then the reaction is getting balanced. Now just understand how will we calculating, how will we getting able to identify the limiting reagent concept. Okay, because if in the question there will be a limiting reagent or there is an excess reagent, then you have to understand that the final product which is getting produced during a chemical reaction will be totally depending upon the amount of limiting agent, because limiting agent are the substance which is getting consumed first in the chemical reaction, and if limiting agent is getting consumed in the chemical reaction, then definitely further there is no chemical reaction will take place. Okay, so if you will be writing, then just divide 10 by stoichiometric coefficient and 5 by 1 by 2, that is equals to 10, that is equals to 10. So in this reaction no one is limiting reagent, no one is excess reagent, because there is 10 moles and there is 10 moles. Okay, so here the question is asking 10 volume of dihydrogen. So if 10 volume of dihydrogen and 5 volume of dioxide. So if you will see 1 volume of dihydrogen is required to half volume of dioxide to produce 1 volume of H2O molecules vapor form. So 10 volume of dihydrogen will be getting reacted with 5 volume of dioxide and it will be producing 10 volume of H2O vapor. So that will be your answer. It is one of the easiest question that I have ever seen, and if just you have to focus key in which way you have to proceed the question. Okay, so just write down fastly. So my dear student, next question is 10 gram of Ca 10 gram of sample of mixture of CaCl2. There is a mixture of sample of CaCl2 and NaCO3 that is going to react and to precipitate CaCO3 solution, CaCO3, and again this CaCO3 is getting heated to convert all the Ca into CO, and the final mass of CO is 1.62 gram in the question given. Calculate the percentage mass of CaCl2 in the original sample. I think it is one of the established question you will ever see in any book. If you are solving Nayan Ravasti, if you are solving Singes, lots of numerous examples as given in this from this types of question. Okay, so just try to understand basics. How the question we will proceed. How will we approaching the question? So there is a mixture. There is a mixture of CaCl2 and Na2CO3. These mixture having weight is 10 gram. 10 gram of the sample is given now. This is getting react and this is going to produce CaCO3, and this CaCO3 after production of CaCO3 this is getting heated and this is going to produce CaO plus CO2 gas. These types of reaction you will see if you will study these types of statement in the question. Okay. Now understand the final weight of CO is 1.62 gram is given in the question. 1.62 gram. This is given. Now how will you proceed the solution of this question? Just understand. Just if you will balance the numerical, then definitely CaCO3 is less like that, and here you will get 2 moles of NaCl. Here you will get 2 moles of NaCl. Now our first time is to focus on CaCO3 and CaCl2. If you will see the chemical reaction, because we are solving the numerical on the basis of mole concept, and in mole concept already I have told you, if you are going to solve any numericals, then you have to focus on the stoichiometry. And the main thing is that here if you will see in the stoichiometry, here there is 1 mole of CaCl2 is getting reacted with 1 mole of Na2CO3 and producing 1 mole of CaCO3. So if you will calculate molecular weight of CaCl2, just try to understand. Here I am just assuming the weight of CaCl2 in the sample of CaCl2 and Na2CO3 is x gram. I am just assuming it is x gram. Okay. Okay. Now here if you will see 1 gram of CaCl2 will be producing what? 100 gram of CaCO3. Okay. Sorry, 1 gram more. Here 110 gram. If you will calculate the molecular weight of CaCl2, it will become 110 gram. So 1 gram of CaCl2 will be producing 100 upon 110 gram of CaCO3. So x gram of CaCO2 will be producing 100 x by 110. I think up to this point you are already clear now. Now you have calculated the weight of that CaCO3 that is getting produced by this chemical reaction. Now again you are getting heated, you are heating this CaCO3. So if you will see 100 gram of CaCO3 is producing the weight of molecular weight of this CO is 14 plus 16, that is equal to 56. So this is producing 56 gram of CO, and 1 gram of CaCO3 will be producing 56 by 110 gram. So 110 by itna, that much amount of CaCO3, 100x upon 110 of CaCO3 will be producing 56 upon 110 multiplied with 100x upon 110. Okay, 100x upon 110. Sorry. That much amount of CaO is getting produced via this chemical reaction. Okay, just go through the process what is asking in the question and in which way which types of data is given in the question. You have to go. You don't have to go beyond that data only. Everything is given. Just you have to focus on that quantity first reaction, which will be the first reaction. After that, the question is asking about just go and hit the CaCO3 and produce CO and CO2, and how much amount of CO produced, and final weight of CO is given is 1.62. So that will be equals to 1.62 gram. After that, if you will calculate the value of x from this data, calculate the value of x. So you will be getting x is I think just 336 gram. Just assume it won't come 3.36 gram. Just I am assuming after calculation, just you have to calculate. You will be getting a value of x is equal to 3.36. So percentage of CaCl2 in this mixture, amount of CaCl2 that is equal to 336 upon 10 multiplied with 100. This will be the percentage of CaCl2 that you are getting final answer from this question. Okay, so this was one of the best question up to this. Whatever the question I have solved right now, just jot down it first. So the question is 1.60 gram of metal oxide. 1.6 gram of metal will dissolve in HNO3. HNO3 is a strong acid. Okay, to prepare its nitrate. Okay, and the nitrate on a strong heating gives 2 gram of oxide. Then you have to calculate the equivalent weight of metal will be. My dear student, this is one of the best types of question that you will frequently you can see in the every book, and so many concepts arises from here. So just try to understand the question. How will you proceed? So now, if you are going to react to metal, I am just assuming. Suppose I am assuming M is a metal, and this metal is getting reacted with HNO3, and after reaction with HNO3, this metal is producing a nitrate. Okay, so MnO3, this will be producing a nitrate, and this nitrate is again heated, and it gives 2 gram of metal oxide. 2 gram of metal oxide. Just you have to identify a rough sketch. Which types of thing will be happening over here? Which types of reaction can happen? So the question is asking, you have one metal, it is getting reacted with HNO3, and after reaction with HNO3, it is producing metal nitrate, and again metal nitrate is getting heated, and it is going to produce metal oxide. So you have to calculate the equivalent weight of metal. So how will you proceed? So if you have studied the concept of number of equivalent, this question will be solved by the number of equivalent concept. You will be asking why we are solving this question, because earlier we have solved so many numericals on the basis of mole concept. Why we can't solve this numericals on the basis of a mole concept? Why? Because the reason is the question is asking calculate the equivalent weight of metal. Okay, you have to calculate the equivalent weight of metal. Now understand. So if you will be writing the equivalent weight concept, you don't have to write full reaction. You don't have to write the stoichiometric balance of the reaction. Without any stoichiometry, you can solve the numerical. Okay. So I am writing here number of equivalent of metal, that is equals to number of equivalent of nitric acid HNO3, that is equals to number of equivalent of oxygen, that is equals to number of equivalent of metal oxide. Okay, number of equivalent of metal oxide. Okay, so just I am writing over here. So in the question is asking 2 gram of oxide. Okay, and 1.6 gram of metal. Weight of metal was 1.60 gram. Okay, and you are getting metal oxide, weight of oxide is equals to 2 gram. Okay, so if you will calculate, then you can calculate weight of oxygen, that is equals to what? 0. I am just writing the whole way. 2 minus 1.6 gram, that is equals to 0.4 gram. Now you have calculated the weight of oxygen. Now if you will calculate the number of equivalent of oxygen, that is equal to weight upon equivalent weight. So weight of oxygen is this and equivalent weight is this. Okay, you have got that much amount of number of weight equivalent of oxygen. Now you have to equate with this one. So I am just roughing it. So if you will be writing, then number of equivalent 0.4 upon 8, that is equals to weight of metal. Weight of metal is 1.60 upon equivalent weight of metal is E, and plus equivalent weight of oxygen, that is equals to 8. If you will cancel out this, then it will be getting cancelled in this way. So you will be getting E plus 8, that is equals to 32. From here you will get E is equals to 24 gram. So you will be getting equivalent weight of metal, that is equals to 24 grams. So in this way you have to solve this numerical. Okay, so just write down this question. So the question is asking the molar ratio of Fe2 plus ions to Fe3 plus. Fe2 plus ions to Fe3 plus in a mixture of FeSO4 and Fe2SO4 का whole trace, which is equal in number of sulfate ions in both FeSO4 and Fe2SO4 का whole trace. So first of all you have to understand, if you will see FeSO4 and Fe2SO4 का whole trace, in this you will be getting Fe2 plus ion and here you will be getting Fe3 plus ion. Okay, this is the scenario. And after this the question is asking कि there are equal number of moles of sulfate ions. Just if you will be writing FeSO4, if you will break it, then it is getting converted into Fe2 plus SO4 2 minus. Okay, so just understand, I am just assuming this. Suppose there are X number of sulfate ions which is getting produced by FeSO4. Okay, so if you will see here, then what will you get? If you will balancing here this reaction, then 1 mole of Fe2 plus and 1 mole of SO4 2 minus. So here you will see for 1 mole of SO4 2 minus ions, you are getting 1 mole of Fe2 plus ions. So for X mole of SO4 2 minus, you will be getting X moles of Fe2 plus. Okay. Now again, if you will calculate from this one, so if you will be getting Fe2 SO4 whole thrice is getting converted into 2Fe3 plus 3SO4 2 minus. Okay. So from here, if you will calculate, then you will get 3 moles of SO4 2 minus will give 2 moles of Fe3 plus. So for 1 mole of SO4 2 minus, you will be getting 2 by 3. So you have to put equal number of sulfate ions. So here you have assumed initially that there are X number of moles of sulfate ions initially present according to the question. Okay, so I am just stating there are, if for X moles of SO4 2 minus, you will be getting 2 by 3 X moles of Fe3 plus ion. So from this data you have got Fe2 plus, number of moles of Fe2 plus, that is equals to X, and number of Fe3 plus, that is equals to 2 by 3X. Okay, if you will calculate, then you will be getting 3 by 2. So the ratio of Fe2 plus is to Fe3 plus, that is equals to 3 is to 2. So I think this is one of the most important types of questions that you will ever see in any types of books. And according to this concept, so the examiner can ask different types of questions. So just you have to focus the language of the question and in which way you will be proceeding the question. Because here in the question has been in the question that is given that there is an equal number of sulfate ions. So I have assumed here X number of sulfate ions and 1 mole of sulfate ions is producing 1 mole of Fe2 plus. So X mole of sulfate ions will be producing X mole of Fe2 plus. According to that, I have again break Fe2SO4 whole thrice in this way, and again I have applied the unitary method. So in this way you have to proceed this question. Okay, so just write down firstly. So the question is asking equal volume of 1 molar solution of K2Cr2O7 and KMnO4 solution are used to oxidize iron 2 solution in acidic medium, then amount of Fe2 oxidized will be. Just focus on this question. This is one of the basic question of redox titration. Okay, if you are going to able to approach this question, then definitely you will be able to solve what numeric number of the example which is going to come. So first try to understand the basic concept. How will we proceeding the question? How we can approach the question? So in this question, the question is asking equal volume. Okay, and molarity of the K2Cr2O7 is equal. So okay, so you have to understand in which way, because the question is from redox titration. So Question asks me Fe2 oxidized. So if you will going to understand, if Fe2 plus has to be oxidized, then it is getting converted into Fe3 plus. This is the reaction of oxidation of Fe. Okay. So in oxidation, what used to happen? The oxidation state of any substance is going to be increased. So here you can see the oxidation state of iron is getting increased from +2 to +3. That's why this reaction is called as the oxidation reaction. Now there are two types of solutions given, and one thing that is mentioned in the numerical is acidic medium. So if you will be solving KMnO4, if you will see KMnO4, in KMnO4, if you will break K plus and MnO4 minus, okay. So in acidic medium, MnO4 minus is getting converted into Mn2 plus. I think whenever the concept has been discussed in the class, you all have understood. Yeah, the teacher or sir have written in the notes that MnO4 will be getting converted to Mn2 plus in acidic medium. Okay. Now, if you will talk about K2Cr2O7, then it will be getting converted into plus and Cr2O7 to minus, because 2 potassium is there and on 2 potassium 2 charges will be there. So one potassium, 1 plus charge will be there. So here Cr2O7 will be in 2 minus and it will be getting converted into Cr3 plus. Now, how you balancing the reaction and how can we calculate the N factor for this reaction? Just understand, I am just going from the basic things, and from basics I will be able to let you understand how you can calculate the N factor very easily. Okay, just understand. Here MnO4 minus is getting converted to Mn2 plus. Number of magnesium atom. First of all, you have to balance the main atom. Here main atom is manganese. Manganese is balanced. It's okay. You don't have to be panic about that now. Just see oxygen. Here oxygen is 4. You are going to balance the chemical reaction in acidic medium. So if there is 4 oxygen atom in this way, then you have to write 4 H2 molecules in opposite. Okay, you have to mention 4 oxygen 4 H2 molecules outside. Now in the right hand side. Now here is 4 hydrogen. So here there are hydrogen. The hydrogen is, you have to add 8 H plus. You have added 8 H plus. Now atom is balanced, oxygen is balanced, hydrogen is balanced, manganese is balanced. Now you have to balance the charge. That is the last step of balancing of redox reaction. Here there is 7 charge, 7 plus, and here there is only 2 plus. So here you have to add 5 electron. Now charge is balanced. Here you have to add 5 electrons. So here N factor for this reaction is 5. Okay. Now I will tell you later what is the significance of this 5N factor. Okay. Before I am just balancing this reaction. Okay. Now here chromium is main atom. Here there is 2 number of atoms in left hand side of chromium. Here you have to multiply it with 2. Now here is 7 oxygen atom. You have to multiply it with 7 H2O. Now here 14 hydrogen is there. You have to add 14 hydrogen H plus. Now you have balanced the redox reaction. Now what you have to do? The next procedure is you have to balance the charge. Here there is 6 positive charge and here there is 12 positive charge. Okay. So here you have to add 6 to 6 electrons. So now you will be able to balance the redox reaction. Okay. Here if you will see, then the N factor is equals to 6. My dear student, understand one thing. Here there are 6 number of moles of if you will be calculating, here there is equal volume and equal molarity. Okay. So number of equivalent, if you will calculate number of equivalent, so number of equivalent is equals to number of moles multiplied with N factor of the reaction, and if you will calculate equal volume of and equal molarity, so number of moles for each and every reaction is same, and N factor for this reaction is more as compared to N factor of this reaction. So definitely number of equivalent for K2Cr2O7 will be more as compared to number of equivalent of KMnO4. Okay, so K2Cr2O7 will require 6 number of equivalent to oxidize Fe2 to Fe3 plus. Apart from that, MnO4 minus ion will require only, or KMnO4 will require only 5 number of equivalent to oxidize Fe2 plus to Fe3 plus. Okay, so dear student, in this question, the question is asking what calculate the equivalent weight. Calculate the equivalent weight of AH2S3 from the given reaction AH2S3 plus H plus plus NO3. The reaction is given in this way. Okay? So This is, I think, one of the toughest question on balancing of redox reaction. Just understand how will we balance. Okay. So first of all, you have to focus on the part AS2S3 here. AS2S3. If you will see the sulfur, on the sulfur there is sulfur comes in the category of oxygen family, and there is 2 negative charge on the sulfur. So if you will see here, there will be -6 charge will be there. 3 into 2 6. So here there will be +3 charge on the one arsenic. Okay. So you have to understand this way. Now condition you have to prevail. You have to convert AS2 is getting converted into ASO4 3-. You have to maintain the reaction, write the reaction in this. Okay. Now next thing you have to understand, sulfur S3 is getting converted into SO4 2-, because you have to calculate the equivalent weight, and equivalent weight will be molecular weight upon N factor. Before calculating, without calculating N factor, you won't be able to solve the equivalent weight concept. Okay. So here there is 2 number of sulfate arsenic ions, so just multiply it with 2. Now here there is 8 number of oxygen, then you have to multiply it with 8 H2O. So just multiply with here 8 H2O is there, so 16 H plus. So there are total number of 16 H plus 2. There is 10 plus charge there. Here there is 0 positive charge. So here you have to add 10 electrons. So plus I am writing 10 electrons. Now come to this reaction. In this reaction S3 and here SO4 2-. So sulfur is 3. Here you have to multiply with 3. Now oxygen is here 12. 4 into 2. So just add 12 H2O. Now here you have to add 24 of H plus. So if you will see, there are 6 plus 18 positive charge and here 0 positive charge. So you have to add 18 electron. My dear student, if you will combine both this reaction, then you will be getting this final reaction. Okay. And since both the reaction is oxidation reaction, and I think you all know, for the if there are 2 oxidation reaction, there are 2 reduction reaction, or 1 oxidation, 1 reduction reaction, then N factor, here I am assuming this is N1 and I am assuming this is N2. So N factor, that is equals to N1 plus N2, and that is equals to 10 plus 18, and that is equals to 28. Okay. So equivalent weight of AH2 S3 will be molecular weight upon 28. This will be the right answer. Okay. So in this way you have to proceed this types of metal. First try to break the equation, break the substance. I have broken this into AS2 as this way, and just you have to follow the basic thing according to the in acidic medium. Okay. And in that way I have proceeded the final condition. Okay. And just go through this, solve this question 2 to 3 times, because it is one of the standard level question. If you will be able to solve these types of questions comfortably, then definitely the thing becomes very easy for you. So just try to focus these types of questions, because whatever the question I have taught you here right now is all the questions on the standard level. If you will be able to solve all these questions, then definitely you will be able to solve most of the questions regarding the calculation of N factor and redox titrations question. Okay. So that's it. Just write down. So in this numerical, the question is telling benzene diazonium chloride was decomposed in the presence of hypophosphorus acid and the nitrogen gas is evolved. After drying, it was found that there was 36.9 ml at 1 atm 27 degrees centigrade. The volume of nitrogen gas was obtained is 36.9 ml at 1 atm and 27 degrees centigrade. Then calculate the amount of salt must be taken. Okay. So let's understand important question. And this question can be solved by collaboration of 2 concepts. First of all, you have to apply the gaseous state formula, and after that you have to understand the reaction in which way. Okay. So before that, going to that, I am just discussing the chemical formula of all these compound that is written. Benzene diazonium chloride. If you will be studying the organic chemistry in class 12, you will have to study the preparation method of benzene diazonium chloride. Is one of the important concepts. Okay, so you will see there in which way we will be forming the preparation method of benzene diazonium chloride. Benzene diazonium chloride is getting reacted with hypophosphorus acid. Just I am making the structure of hypophosphorus acid. If you will see the hypophosphorus acid, it will be look like that. Hypophosphorus acid, and it is getting react and producing nitrogen gas. Okay, just don't need to go anywhere anything else right now. Just this is the hypophosphorus acid. It is reacting with diazonium salt, red salt, in producing nitrogen gas, and the volume of nitrogen gas is given 36.9 ml. Okay, so if you will apply, generally if nothing is given in the question, then you have to understand this question, you can apply the gaseous state. This gas will be ideal gas. Okay, nitrogen. Okay, so now if you will apply the ideal gas equation, so PV is equals to nRT. So number of moles is equals to pressure into volume upon RT. That is equals to pressure is 1 atm. Just in this formula you have to substitute, not in atm, 1.0132 into 10 to the power 5 Pascal multiplied with 36.9 into milliliter to minus 10 to the power minus 3 upon R. R will be 8.314 and temperature is 27 degrees centigrade. That you have to convert it into Kelvin, and that will be equals to 300. That will be equals to 300. Now after that, calculation of number of moles, you have calculated the number of moles. Okay, now understand the question is asking ki amount of diazonium salt, how much amount of diazonium salt will be required. So if you will be reacting 1 mole of diazonium salt, it will be producing 1 mole of N2, nitrogen gas, at that prevalent condition of temperature, pressure. Okay, now if you will see, so number of moles you have calculated here. So if you will calculate, then you will be getting some data. So from here you can calculate 1 mole of N2 is produced by 1 mole of salt. So since that much amount, just n mole of N2 will be produced by n mole of salt. So that much amount of salt will be, number of moles of salt will be required to produce that much amount. So if you have calculated number of moles, so after that calculation of number of moles, you can write number of moles is equals to weight upon molecular weight of diazonium salt. And diazonium salt, if you will see the formula, then you can see there are 6 carbon, so C6 hydrogen, 1 2 3 4 5 6. So here hydrogen won't be there, 1 2 3 4 5, H5, nitrogen is 2, Cl minus. This will be. So from here you can calculate molecular weight is equal to 6 multiplied with 12 plus 5 multiplied with 1 plus 2 multiplied with 14 plus chlorine is 1, so 35.5. From here you can get the molecular weight of diazonium salt. Just substitute this here, and after that multiply with it number of moles, you will be getting the amount or weight of diazonium salt that is required to produce that much volume of nitrogen gas at 1 atm, that prevalent condition of temperature and pressure for this particular numerical. Okay, so this was one of the important question. Just you go and practice 2 to 3 times these types of questions, then definitely you will be able to solve these types of numerical very easily. Okay, so thanks for today. In the next day we will be solving numerical on the basis of redox reactions, balancing of redox reaction, calculation of N factor, and we will be solving the previous year of JEE Advanced and JEE Mains question. Okay, so thanks for today.